Hello. Hi, it's Pete Reed, and today what I just want to have a quick chat about is using Google Drive, folders and files. Now, last time in the last Refresh and Remind session, we did talk about drives, folders and files. And what we said was the drive could effectively be thought of as a drawer in a filing cabinet. And when you open the drawer in a filing cabinet or my drive, inside I would have a series of folders, and each of those folders could hold a series of files. Now indeed, some folders may have subfolders. So again, we've got all sorts of different ways that we can store things. And a file can be a picture, it can be a document, it can be an image, it can be anything that you want it to be. So here we've got Google Drive. Now Google Drive is an online drive. So it's created when you actually open your Gmail account, you've got access to your Google Drive. Now it's a 15 gigabyte storage space. So technically that means it's big. You've got plenty of space on there, especially as Google doesn't count lots of document types if you create them within Google, and it also doesn't count lots and lots of images if they're of a fairly small nature. It also allows you to share files, documents, pictures, etc. across multiple devices. So for example, it could be that I'm working on, say, a family tree or something of that nature, and I could share that family tree with other members of the family so that they could log on and they could edit that document as well as I can, so that we can actually share and pool our information to make it the best document we can get to. And you can share this across a range of devices. So I've put a laptop, my tablet, my smartphone. It will also mean that if I'm working with a strange computer, so somebody else's computer, I can log on to my Google account and access my files securely across on their laptop. Make sure if you're using this on a public laptop in a library or something like that, that you log out when you finish, because the last thing you want to do is to give anybody else access to your files. Okay, so on the laptop what we would do is we'd go to Google, sign into our Google account, click on that 9-pack, and then we could choose Google Drive, which looks suspiciously like that. The alternative would be on a tablet or on a smartphone. When you open it, you switch it on, then 9 times out of 10 you will actually be signed in to your Google account. So all you would do is find the icon, click on it, and that will actually open your Google Drive. Okay, so let's move across onto Google. So here we are, we're in Google, and there, as you can see, I'm signed in, plus PJ. There's, it says Gmail, images, there's my 9-pack, and oh look, there's me. So if I click onto my 9-pack, there is Google Drive. I can click onto Google Drive, and there it's now going to bring up my Google Drive. So here's my Google Drive, and what I've actually got across the top here, let's go through this, is that says Google. Wow, there we go, and that'll take me to here. I've got my search drive, so that would allow me to go and search the drive. So if I know that I've got a document, I could type something in there, and then I could actually look for it in particular file types. I could look for it into whether it's unspecified or opened with a Google Docs or Google Drawings. So what file would actually open it? So if I'm looking for a file called test and it's a document, I could actually choose that. And whether it's owned by anyone or owned by me. So again, I can search in a way to find the information I want. Here underneath, I've got Google Drive again, and that will bring me back to here. I've got my drive, which shows me where I am in my system. I'll show you breadcrumbing later, but what will effectively happen is if I move into other folders, it will put the other folder names across here. This button here that looks a bit like a list would indeed give me a list. So if I click onto that, I'm looking at the same information, it's just now in a list view. So I can come down here and I can see all of my files in a list view. If I click onto here, it takes me back to a grid view. And some people like lists, some people like grids. It's entirely up to you. A to Z, you'll never believe this, but A to Z gives me the sort options. So clicking on there, I can sort by name, I can sort by the file that was last modified. I can say it was last modified by me. So don't forget, if we're working in a shared space, somebody else may have modified a file that I'm sharing. And so last modified would show the last file modified. Last modified by me would show me the last one I'd modified. And last opened by me would be the one that I last opened. Fairly straightforward stuff, isn't it? Yep. So I'll leave mine on last modified by me. The next button across shows me the details. Now because I've not got anything selected, it's going to show me what the details of my activity. And here, as you can see, I last edited an item at 1341 and I renamed an item at 1341. My guess is that my last edit was to rename the document. Yep. And here, if I click onto that again, it will just close that out. Now, I generally keep my details hidden because it just adds unnecessary clutter onto my desktop. Here then, I've got my settings icon. I click onto here, and as you can see, under my settings icon, I've got the option for settings. Fairly straightforward. So here I can see whether I can actually convert uploads. And convert uploads would say that if I bring a file up into the Google space, into my Google Drive, convert the uploaded file to a Google Docs editor format so I can edit it online. The language, I can change my language settings. I've got English, though some people would doubt whether that's what I speak. Here I've got the offline ticked, which allows me to edit these documents offline. Here I've got identity set to comfortable, and what this is just how the screen is actually laid out. On the size of the screen I've got at the moment, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, so I'm just going to leave that. And create a Google's Photos folder would automatically put Google Photos into a folder in my drive. Now here I've got Managing Apps, and this allows me to see the apps that I've currently got connected to my drive. So as you can see, these are the ones I've actually got connected, and again, your list will vary against that. So I'm just going to click on Done, and there we are, back out here. Now, here at the top, we've actually got these tabs here, and what these are folders. So if I go into my folder called Family Photos, inside of there, I've got a cup of tea and a test document. Well, there we go. They don't look much like family photos to me. Here, can you see where I've got my drive and family photos? This is the breadcrumbing that we were talking about. And what it means is that I can follow the breadcrumbs back to get back to the top, back to where I came from. So that allows me, pretty much like Hansel and Gretel in the woods, to backtrack to where I started. So there's my family photos. There's a directory called Rupert, a directory called Private, a directory called Umi. And here at the bottom, I've got all sorts of documents. So there's an untitled document. If I click on it and select it and hold my left key down, I can actually drag that off and I could choose where I want to put that. So I'm going to put that document in Family Photos. And as you can see, that's now moved across into Family Photos. And if I now double click onto there, I can see that it's in place. Okay. So again, I can actually move around my folders in all sorts of nice ways. Now to create a new folder, what I would do is click onto New and Folder. And then I can give the new folder a name. Now it's a good idea really to give folders meaningful names. So I'm going to call this Presentation. And then here I've got a presentation, and I'm just going to move that presentation into my presentation folder. Oh, look, there's another presentation. I'm going to move that into my presentation folder. So as you can see, I can actually move things around to make them and put them into wherever I actually want them to be. So again, it allows me to actually move things around and to do other bits and pieces. If I click under New again, here I've got File Upload, and that allows me to upload a file into my current folder. So if I wanted my upload to go into my family photos, for example, then I would go to that directory first, or that folder first, click onto New, click onto File Upload, and then I could choose an image that I wanted to upload. So I've chosen that, click on Open, and that is now opening that folder, that image, and there it is, that's now been uploaded into the correct place. Just close this at the bottom here. Underneath New again, I've got Folder Upload. Now Folder Upload would allow me to upload a folder. So let me find a folder that's got some images that I want to use. I think Image Compare might be okay. Click onto that, and as you can see, it's uploaded the folder Image Compare. Now here, as we can see, I've chosen a folder that's got 14 megabytes of information in. So it's going to take a little bit of time for that folder to be uploaded, but it is all being uploaded directly from my laptop up onto my machine. And as you can see, I've got one of 7 images inside of there. So, hey, I think I should have chosen a little bit more carefully, don't you? Never mind. Okay, so again, if I click onto New, then here I've got my ability to create a Google document, a Google Sheet, and a Google Slide. And if I click onto More, then I can actually see that I've got other options that are here. Now these relate to the same as we saw before when we looked at Manage Apps. So it would allow me to actually manage which apps I've actually got available. And there I've got Connect More Apps that would allow me to go away and connect more apps if I so wanted to. So here I'm going to go back to my drive for the moment while this is still working away. And so what we've actually got then is Google Drive. In Google Drive I have got my folders, and I can create more folders if I wish. And then I've got this series of files inside of that folder, and a file can be anything that we want it to be. Now a couple of other bits and pieces that we should really mention is that here I can go and I can delete things. So all I've done is I've highlighted something and then I touch the delete key on my keypad, and as you can see I'm deleting these very quickly and very easily. Here down the side I've actually got the bin, and if I click onto the bin then I can see all of the files and folders that I've recently deleted. And so I can click onto that, and here I've got the option to restore. So restore from the bin would put it back to where it came from. I've also got delete forever. So if I say yes, delete forever, then it is gone. Yeah, I can highlight more than one. I've just held my shift key down and selecting them using my arrow keys. And then again I can choose delete forever and delete forever. And there we go, I've now got nothing in the bin. My bin is empty. Let's go back to my drive. There we go, this is now completed the upload, so let me close that. So that means if I go off into my presentation folder, oh, wasn't presentation, my family photos, there's my image compare, and there are the images that I actually use when I want to compare quality of different types of images. Okay, so there we go. I can come back out here onto my drive to carry on doing any other work that I wanted to. But all in all, we've now had a quick look at Google Drive. I hope that helps. Talk to you later. Cheers, bye.